Dhabi, Dubai to be connected by rail, reducing travel time to 30 minutes. A high-speed train project connecting Abu Dhabi and Dubai in just 30 minutes was announced by Etihad Rail yesterday. The train will travel at speeds of up to 350 km per hour, dramatically reducing travel times and enhancing connectivity between the two Emirates. Etihad Rail, which will oversee the development and operation of the project, estimates the initiative will contribute $145 billion to the UAE's GDP over the next 50 years. This new high-speed train is distinct from the previously announced Etihad Rail passenger service, which shares the same network as the UAE's freight trains. PM Modi praises G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant's book, How India Scaled Empty G20. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today lauded G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant for his book on the country's G20 presidency titled How India Scaled Empty G20. In a social media post, Mr. Modi wrote that the book gives a lucid perspective on efforts to further human-centric development in pursuit of a better planet. Earlier, Mr. Kant presented his book to the Prime Minister. Amrit Udyan at Rashtrapati Bhavan opens for public from 2nd Feb. The Amrit Udyan of Rashtrapati Bhavan will be open for public viewing from the 2nd of next month till the 30th of March. People can visit the Udyan 6 days a week between 10 am and 6 pm except on Mondays. Booking and entry to the garden are free of cost and can be made from the Rashtrapati Bhavan's website. Rashtrapati Bhavan will also host a 4-day Vividhata Ka Amrit Mahotsav as part of Amrit Udyan starting from the 6th of March. The Mahotsav will showcase the rich cultural heritage and unique traditions of southern India. US Senate confirms Marco Rubio as 72nd Secretary of State. The US Senate has confirmed the appointment of Marco Rubio as the 72nd US Secretary of State in the Trump administration. According to the official website of the US Senate, Rubio won the vote by 99-0 during the first session of the 119th Congress. The White House also confirmed his appointment in a social media post. Meanwhile, Indian origin entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy will no longer co-head the Department of Government Efficiency with Tesla CEO Elon Musk. The White House confirmed the news on Monday, hours after Trump's oath-taking ceremony. US President Trump ends automatic citizenship of children born in country to non-citizen parents, withdraws US from WHO. President Donald Trump has signed a series of executive actions revoking 78 of Joe Biden's policies, hours after returning to the White House. Trump signed an order seeking to end automatic birthright citizenship for children of people not in the country legally, as well as those in the country legally but only temporarily, such as tourists, students and those on work visas. Agencies have been given 30 days to implement the order. In one of the major orders, President Trump directed the withdrawal from the World Health Organization. In his order, Trump cited a string of reasons for the withdrawal, including the Global Health Agency's mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic and the failure to adopt urgently needed reforms. Trump 22 Democratic-led states sue US President Donald Trump over birthright citizenship order. US President Donald Trump has been sued over his plan to end birthright citizenship in the United States by a coalition of Democratic-leaning states and civil rights groups. The lawsuits were brought by 22 Democratic-led states along with the District of Columbia and the City of San Francisco. In the federal courts in Boston and Seattle, several separate lawsuits came within hours after Trump took office and quickly unveiled a phalanx of executive orders he hopes will reshape American immigration. The cases asserted that the president had overstepped his authority and violated the US Constitution by trying to eliminate the automatic granting of citizenship to anyone born on the US soil. India's non-fossil fuel-based energy capacity reached 217 gigawatt. India is making significant strides in solar and wind energy capacity with a commitment to achieving 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel-based energy capacity by 2030. With the infrastructural push, the country's non-fossil fuel-based energy capacity has reached 217 gigawatts by the 20th of this month. Data shows that India is emerging as a global leader in clean energy capacity. According to the New and Renewable Energy Ministry, a record-breaking 24.5 gigawatt of solar capacity and 3.4 gigawatts of wind capacity have been added in the last year. Kenya on high alert after Tanzania confirms Marburg outbreak. Kenya is on high alert after neighboring Tanzania confirmed an outbreak of Marburg virus disease in the northwestern Kagera region. A statement issued by the Ministry of Health in Nairobi said Kenya has no reported cases, but the country remains at high risk due to significant cross-border movements from Tanzania and other neighboring nations. The Principal Secretary for Public Health and Professional Standards said that the Ministry of Health remains committed to protecting the health and safety of all Kenyans. Maharashtra secures record rupees 6.25 lakh crore investment on day one of WEF under CM Fadnavis's leadership. On the first day of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Maharashtra, under the leadership of Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, signed investment agreements worth Rs 6,025,000 for National Khadi exhibition at Mahakumbh, showcasing country's rich heritage. The Mahakumbh is underway at Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh. The national level Khadi exhibition at the Mahakumbh is attracting visitors. The Khadi India Pavilion showcases India's rich heritage in local crafts, textiles, and indigenous industries with a focus on Khadi. The pavilion highlights the integration of traditional sustainability and craftsmanship, offering an in-depth view of Khadi's role in fostering unity and preserving cultural values. Set against the historic backdrop of the Mahakumbh Mela, it underscores India's commitment to promoting local industries and sustainable practices. There are a total of 152 stalls in the exhibition, with 98 stalls displaying Khadi products and 54 stalls with the products from village industries. Badhal village declared as containment zone after 17 mysterious deaths. In Jammu and Kashmir, the Rajouri district administration has declared the Badhal village as a containment zone and prohibited all gatherings in the area. District Magistrate of Rajouri designated officials will oversee and monitor all meals provided to families within the containment zone. The District Magistrate has imposed Section 163 of Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita BNSS, sealing the homes of the affected families. The area is divided into 3 zones with all public and private gatherings banned. All families identified as close contacts of affected individuals have been declared as containment zones. Besides, individuals from these families must be immediately shifted to Government Medical College, Rajouri for continuous health monitoring. To enforce compliance, police personnel have been stationed to monitor the consumption of replaced food items under observation. Designated officers will maintain a logbook recording every instance of food distribution and consumption. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio meets Quad counterparts on day 1 in office. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio met his Quad counterparts at the US Department of State in Washington, D.C. last night. They include External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, Japan's Takeshi Iwaya, and Australia's Penny Wong. The Quad is a diplomatic partnership among India, Australia, Japan, and the United States, committed to fostering an open, stable, and prosperous Indo-Pacific that is inclusive and resilient. Mr. Rubio began his work as US Secretary of State by meeting Quad foreign ministers on his first day in office. Quad foreign ministers are in Washington to attend President Donald Trump's inauguration. Earlier yesterday, US Vice President J.D. Vance had ministered Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. According to the White House, Marco Rubio is the son of 2 hard-working immigrants from Cuba. Born in Miami, Mr. Rubio was drawn to public service because of his grandfather, who saw his homeland destroyed by communism. During his 14 years in the US Senate, Mr. Rubio fought to protect the freedoms and opportunities. Government celebrates 10th anniversary of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme. Government is celebrating the 10th anniversary of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme today, marking a decade of relentless efforts to protect, educate, and empower the girl child. Women and Child Development Ministry said the event in New Delhi will witness the participation of women officers from the armed forces, paramilitary forces, Delhi police, girl students, and Anganwadi workers. The ministry said the 10th anniversary celebrations will span from today till 10th March, culminating on International Women's Day. Similar events will be organized at state and district level. World Bank appointed neutral expert backs India's stand on dispute with Pakistan regarding Indus Water Treaty. The World Bank appointed neutral expert has announced that it is competing to decide on the differences between India and Pakistan over 2 hydropower projects in Jammu and Kashmir under the Indus Water Treaty. The neutral expert has rejected Pakistan's plea to facilitate the establishment of a court of arbitration to consider its concerns about the designs of the 2 hydroelectric power projects. India had asked for the appointment of a neutral expert to consider concerns over the Kishanganga and Ratal hydroelectric projects. In a statement, the neutral expert said, after careful consideration and analysis, that he should decide on the merits of the points of difference. Dhaka urges Beijing to designate Kunming hospitals for Bangladeshi patients. Dhaka has urged Beijing to designate hospitals in Kunming for the Bangladeshi patients' treatment. Bangladesh also proposed establishing a specialized tertiary level Chinese hospital in Dhaka. The discussion in this regard took place on Tuesday during the bilateral talks held between Bangladesh Foreign Advisor Tauheed Hussain and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi-in. Mount Everest becomes more expensive for mountaineers, Nepal to increase permit fees. The government of Nepal is increasing the permit fees for climbing Mount Everest from USD 11,000 to USD 15,000, making the world's tallest peak more expensive for mountaineers. The fees are revised after 2015. The new rate is applicable from 1st September this year. Under the revised rules, every 2 climbers must hire a guide to climb any mountain over 8,000 meters, including Everest. Under the revised mountaineering regulations, the royalty fee for foreigners climbing Everest from the normal south route in the spring season March-May has been raised to USD 15,000 from the current USD 11,000 per person. The autumn season September-November climbing fee has increased from USD 5,500 to USD 7,500. At the same time, the permit cost per individual for the winter, December, February and monsoon June-August season has risen from USD 2,750 to USD 3,750. Fees for the less popular September-November season and the rarely climbed December-February season will also increase by 36% to $7,500 and $3,750 respectively. Trump speaks with Saudi's crown prince, his first call with foreign leaders since taking office. US President Donald Trump spoke with Saudi Arabia's crown prince Mohammed bin Salman, marking his first conversation with a foreign leader since taking office. The call took place amid a complex situation in the West Asia region. During the conversation, the crown prince congratulated President Trump on his swearing-in and conveyed the congratulations of King Salman, wishing the American people further progress and prosperity. The leaders discussed strengthening bilateral cooperation to promote peace, security and stability as well as efforts to combat terrorism. Anuja nominated for Best Short Film category of Oscars 2025. Indian short film, Anuja has achieved a significant milestone by securing a nomination in the Best Short Film Live Action category for the Oscars 2025. Anuja is directed by Adam J. Graves and Suchitra Matai. The film is backed by two-time Academy Award winner Guneet Monga and actors Priyanka Chopra and Mindy Kaling. Anuja follows a 9-year-old girl who alongside her sister Palak faces a life-changing opportunity that tests their bond and mirrors the struggles of girls worldwide. The other short films to make it to the final nominations list are Alien, The Last Stranger, I'm Not a Robot, The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. The nominations for the 2025 Oscars, which were twice postponed earlier this month due to wildfires in LA, were announced by Bowen Yang and Rachel Sennett. Russia says it is ready for dialogue on Ukraine conflict. Russia has said that it remains ready for an equal and mutually respectful dialogue regarding its conflict with Ukraine. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that Russia is waiting for signals that have yet to arrive. President Donald Trump yesterday warned of fresh sanctions against Russia unless it agreed to a deal to end its nearly 3-year conflict with Ukraine. Dmitry Peskov added that Russia sees nothing new in US President Donald Trump's threats to impose sanctions. The response comes after a comment from Russia's Deputy UN Ambassador Dmitry Polinsky yesterday, who mentioned that the Kremlin would need to know what Trump wants in a deal to end the conflict before taking any further steps. Defense Minister flags off Battlefield Surveillance System Sanjay. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh today flagged off Battlefield Surveillance System Sanjay in New Delhi. This surveillance system will enhance battlefield transparency and transform the future battlefield as it is equipped with state-of-the-art sensors and cutting-edge analytics. It will be inducted into the Indian Army in 3 phases starting from March this year. An automated system Sanjay integrates inputs from ground and aerial battlefield sensors and produces a common surveillance picture of the battlefield. It will help in monitoring the vast land borders, prevent intrusions and assess situations with unparalleled accuracy. According to the Defense Ministry, it proves to be a force multiplier in intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance. This would enable commanders to operate in both conventional and sub-conventional operations in a network-centric environment. Michael Martin confirmed as new Irish PM. In Ireland, Fianna Fáil leader Michael Martin has been confirmed as the new Prime Minister after a vote in the Dáil, the lower house of the Irish Parliament. Media reports said the lawmakers yesterday voted to elect Martin as Prime Minister of Ireland for the second time by a coalition of country's 2 large centre-right parties, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, and independent lawmakers. 64-year-old Martin was Prime Minister of Ireland between 2020 and 2022 before handing the leadership to Fine Gael for the second half of the term. Under the deal between the two parties, outgoing Prime Minister Simon Harris is set to return as Premier in late 2027. The parties Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, members of Ireland's previous governing coalition, held onto power following the general election held in late November last year. The two parties secured a combined 86 seats in the 174-seat Dáil, falling just 2 seats short of a majority. National Girl Child Day 2025, Empowering Girls for a Bright Future. National Girl Child Day is being celebrated across the nation today with a focus on raising awareness about the rights, education, health and safety of girls in society. Observed annually on 24 January, this day serves as a reminder of the importance of treating every girl with respect and ensuring they have equal opportunities to grow, learn and thrive. The day also marks the anniversary of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 22 January 2015. This landmark initiative aims to address critical issues such as female ferticide, child marriage, and gender discrimination while promoting girls' education, health, and safety. The theme for National Girl Child Day 2025 is Empowering Girls for a Bright Future. This theme emphasizes the need to offer girls equal opportunities to lead and shape their future while recognizing their role in society. US President Trump orders declassification of assassination files of John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King. US President Donald Trump has signed the executive order directing officials to make plans to declassify documents related to three of the most consequential assassinations in American history: the killings of John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. Talking to reporters in the Oval Office yesterday, President Trump said, "A lot of people have been waiting for this for decades, and it is time for the American people to know the truth." The order directs top administration officials to present a plan to declassify the documents within 15 days. President John F. Kennedy was killed in Dallas in 1963. His brother Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated while running for president in California in 1968, just 2 months after Martin Luther King Jr., America's most famous civil rights leader, was murdered in Memphis, Tennessee. Several documents related to the investigation. Federal judge blocks US President Trump's order restricting citizenship. In the United States, a federal judge yesterday temporarily blocked President Donald Trump's executive order denying US citizenship to the children of parents residing in the country illegally or on temporary visas. US District Judge John Kugner issued a 14-day temporary block, calling it blatantly unconstitutional during the first hearing in a multi-state effort challenging the order. The 14th Amendment to the Constitution promises citizenship to those born on US soil, a measure ratified in 1868 to ensure citizenship for former slaves after the Civil War. To curb unlawful immigration, President Trump issued the executive order on Monday just after being sworn in for his second term. Inaugural edition of World Pickleball League to begin in Mumbai. The inaugural edition of the World Pickleball League (WPBL) will kick off today at the ICCI in Mumbai, Maharashtra. The 10-day-long franchisee-based league will feature a total of 6 teams, including Mumbai Pickle Power, Hyderabad Superstars, Pune United, Chennai Super Champs, Delhi Dilwale, and Bangalore Jawans. The opening match of the league will be played between Mumbai Pickle Power and Pune United, showing a clash in the Maharashtrian Derby. This will be followed by another match between Bangalore Jawans and Chennai Super Champs. The final match of the league is scheduled for the 2nd of February. Over 10 crore devotees take holy dip at Triveni Sangam so far. Devotees and pilgrims are reaching Prayagraj in large numbers daily to attend the Mahakumbh 2025. So far, over 10 crore and 21 lakh devotees have taken a holy dip at Triveni Sangam during the ongoing Mahakumbh. The 45-day Mahakumbh, which began on the 13th of this month, will continue till 26th of February. Indore and Udaipur join list of wetland accredited cities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated Indore and Udaipur for joining the list of 31 wetland accredited cities in the world. In a social media post, Mr. Modi said this recognition reflects the government's strong commitment to sustainable development and nurturing harmony between nature and urban growth. He hoped that the feat would inspire everyone to keep working towards creating greener, cleaner, and more eco-friendly urban spaces across the nation. CCPA imposes penalty on coaching centers for misleading advertisement. Central Consumer Protection Authority (CCPA) has imposed a penalty of 3 lakh rupees on a coaching center for advertising misleading claims regarding the results of UPSC CSE 2020. Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution Ministry said in a statement that the decision was taken to protect and promote the rights of consumers as a class and ensure that no false or misleading advertisement is made of any goods or services. In view of the violation of the Consumer Protection Act 2019, the CCPA, headed by Chief Commissioner Nidhi Khare and Commissioner Anupam Mishra, has issued orders against the coaching center. Israel releases 200 Palestinian prisoners after Hamas freed 4 hostages under ceasefire agreement. Hamas has released 4 female Israeli soldiers held in Gaza as part of the ceasefire agreement, handing them over to Red Cross officials in Palestine Square in Gaza City. Karina Ariev, Daniela Gilboa, Nima Levi, and Liri Albeig, who appeared to be in good condition and each carried a bag, were seen smiling as they waved to the crowd in Gaza City's Palestine Square. Houthi rebels release 153 war detainees. In a significant humanitarian gesture, Yemen's Houthi rebels unilaterally released 153 war detainees today. The International Committee of the Red Cross (ICRC) supported the operation, which aimed to bring relief and joy to families who have been anxiously waiting for the return of their loved ones. The ICRC said that it welcomes this unilateral release as another positive step towards reviving negotiations under the Stockholm Agreement. The release of conflict-related detainees in Sanaa was supported by an ICRC team following a request from the National Committee for Prisoners' Affairs. The detainees were among those who had previously received regular visits by the ICRC in Sanaa as part of its detention work, which seeks to ensure human treatment and conditions for all those held in relation to conflict. Padma Awards 2025 announced 23 women awardees. President Draupadi Murmu has approved the conferment of 139 Padma Awards for the year 2025. The awards, among the country's highest civilian honors, are conferred in three categories: Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, and Padma Shri. For the year 2025, the President has approved the conferment of 139 Padma Awards, including one duo case. In a duo case, the award is counted as one. Madison Key of the US wins women's singles Australian Open title. In the Australian Open tennis women's singles final, the 29-year-old American Madison Keys has claimed her long-awaited Grand Slam title, defeating two-time defending champion Ariana Sabalenka in thrilling match that ended 6-3, 2-6, 7-5 at Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne. Yannick Sinner of Italy clinches men's singles title. In the Australian Open tennis, world number one Italy's Yannick Sinner won the men's singles title. In the final, he defeated Alexander Zverev at Rod Laver Arena this evening. With this triumph, the 23-year-old Italian became the youngest man to win multiple Australian Open titles since Jim Courier in 1992-93. This is Sinner's third major title and his third Grand Slam final. In the USAID suspends all assistance in Bangladesh, including food security and health programs. The United States Agency for International Development (USAID) suspended all assistance programs in Bangladesh. In a letter sent to all its implementing partners in Bangladesh, the US donor agency USAID has directed to immediately stop, seize, and suspend any work in Bangladesh under contracts, work orders, grants, cooperative agreements, or other acquisition or assistance instruments. Earlier on Friday, the United States froze virtually all foreign aid, making exceptions only for emergency food and military funding for Israel and Egypt. The action comes as a part of the re-evaluation and realignment of United States foreign aid, in consistency with the foreign policy of President Donald Trump. US Supreme Court clears extradition of Mumbai terror attack convict Tahavvur Rana to India. The US Supreme Court has cleared the extradition of Mumbai terror attack convict Tahavvur Rana to India as it dismissed a review petition against his conviction in the case. India was seeking the extradition of Pakistani origin Canadian businessman Rana, who is accused of playing a major role in the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks, which claimed the lives of 160 people. He is allegedly associated with the Pakistani-American terrorist David Coleman Headley, who was one of the main conspirators of the attack. Emergency period is stark reminder of safeguarding fundamental rights. The Republic Day is being celebrated across the nation today. The occasion marks the day when the Constitution of India was enacted in 1950. It is a day which reminds people to uphold the values enshrined in the Constitution that ensures justice, equality, and dignity for all. Our correspondent takes a look at the constitutional violations which occurred during the emergency period. Many constitutional rights of citizens and media were withheld during the emergency declared on 25th June 1975. This allowed the then government to assume sweeping powers, suspending civil liberties and imposing press censorship. Fundamental rights guaranteed by the Constitution, including the right to free speech, were curtailed. Prominent opposition leaders and activists were arrested and the media was heavily censored. This led to the suspension of most of the civil rights for more than 2 years. The emergency serves as a stark reminder of the need for constant vigilance to safeguard civil liberties and fundamental rights. Unified Pension Scheme for Government Employees notified. Centre has officially notified the implementation of the Unified Pension Scheme (UPS). Government had introduced Unified Pension Scheme in August last year as an option under the National Pension System for central government employees. The scheme will come into effect from 1st April this year. The notification issued yesterday stated that UPS shall be applicable to central government employees who are covered under the National Pension System and who choose this option under NPS. Existing central government employees and future employees can choose to either take the UPS option under the NPS or continue with the NPS without the UPS option. According to the notification, any employee who has exercised the UPS option cannot claim any other policy concession, policy change, financial benefit, any parity with subsequent retirees later, including post-retirement. Second phase of Hamas-Israel prisoner hostage exchange deal completed. The International Committee of the Red Cross (ICRC) has announced that the second phase of prisoner hostage exchange between Hamas and Israel has completed. The exchange was implemented under the initial terms of the ceasefire agreement. In the second phase, 200 Palestinian prisoners and 4 Israeli hostages were released after thorough coordination and review procedures conducted by the ICRC. IDF spokesperson Daniel Hagari said in a statement that 4 more Israeli hostages were welcomed after 477 days in Hamas captivity. He said that Israel's mission is not over until every single hostage comes home. US President Donald Trump fired 17 independent watchdogs at government agencies. US President Donald Trump has sacked 17 independent watchdogs from across multiple government agencies. The unprecedented action eliminates the critical oversight component enabling President Trump to fill the posts with his loyalists. While the termination came into effect immediately, the move violated federal law, claimed several media reports. The law requires the president to give both houses of Congress reasons for the dismissals 30 days in advance. 139 distinguished personalities selected for this year's Padma Awards. President Draupadi Murmu has approved conferment of 139 Padma Awards for the year 2025. The list comprises 7 Padma Vibhushan, 19 Padma Bhushan, and 113 Padma Shri awards. 23 of the awardees are women, and the list also includes 10 persons from the category of foreigners, NRI, PIO, OCI, and 13 posthumous awardees. Indian writer M.T. Vasudevan Nair, former chairman of Suzuki Motor Corporation Osamu Suzuki, and singer Sharda Sinha have been awarded the Padma Vibhushan posthumously. Singer Pankaj Udas and economist Vivek Debroy have been given the Padma Bhushan posthumously. Hockey player P.R. Srijesh has also been conferred with Padma Bhushan. Cricketer R. Ashwin and football player I.M. Vijayan have been awarded with the Padma Shri. Padma Vibhushan is awarded for exceptional and distinguished service, Padma Bhushan for distinguished service of high order, and Padma Shri for distinguished service in any field. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated all the Padma awardees. In a social media post, Mr. Modi said, India is proud to honor and celebrate their extraordinary achievements. He said their dedication and perseverance are truly motivating. He added that each awardee is synonymous with hard work, passion, and innovation, which has positively impacted countless lives. President Murmu says one nation, one election will promote consistency in governance, prevent policy paralysis, and reduce financial burden. President Draupadi Murmu has stated that the One Nation, One Election bill introduced in Parliament promises to redefine the terms of good governance. She said the One Nation, One Election plan can promote consistency in governance, prevent policy paralysis, mitigate resource diversion, and reduce financial burden. In her address to the nation on the eve of Republic Day, President Murmu underlined that the decision to replace the Indian Penal Code, the Code of Criminal Procedure, and the Indian Evidence Act with the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, and the Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam was amongst the most noteworthy of such efforts. President Murmu highlighted that the Constituent Assembly had representatives from all parts and all communities of the country. She said it had 15 women, including stalwarts such as Sarojini Naidu, Rajkumari Amrit Kaur, Suchita Kriplani, Hansaben Mehta, and Malati Chaudhary. It's Malti Chaudhary. PM Modi speaks with Donald Trump and congratulates for his second term. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today spoke with US President Donald Trump and congratulated him on his historic second term. In a social media post, Mr. Modi said India and the US are committed to a mutually beneficial and trusted partnership. He said both nations will work together for the welfare of the people and towards global peace, prosperity, and security. Smriti Mandhana becomes ICC Women's ODI Cricketer of the Year. India's opener in women's cricket, Smriti Mandhana has been crowned the ICC Women's ODI Cricketer of the Year. Smriti was named ICC Women's ODI Cricketer of the Year for her outstanding performance in 2024. The India vice captain Mandhana set new career standards in ODIs, scoring more runs than ever before in a calendar year, amassing 747 runs in 13 innings across 2024. Smriti's tally was the highest among the leading run getters in women's ODIs last year, far ahead of Laura Walwart 697, Tammy Beaumont 554, and Hayley Matthews 469. She was previously honored as the ICC Women's Cricketer of the Year in 2018 and 2022 as well. Jasprit Bumrah wins ICC Men's Test Cricketer of the Year award. India's fast bowling spearhead Jasprit Bumrah has been named the winner of the ICC Men's Test Cricketer of the Year award for his exceptional performances in 2024. Bumrah took an astonishing 71 wickets while bowling 357 overs in 13 matches at an average of 14.92 in 2024. Known for his lethal Yorkers and remarkable consistency, Bumrah played a pivotal role in India's success across formats, including standout spells during the ODI World Cup and key test series. FM Sitharaman to present Union Budget 2025-26 on Feb 1. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is set to present the Union Budget for the fiscal year 25-26 on the 1st of next month. The upcoming budget is anticipated to unveil the government's economic priorities and fiscal strategies to deal with the pressing domestic and global challenges. Experts and people are expecting that this time the government will focus on growth, job creation, and fiscal prudence by emphasizing building a robust infrastructure and manufacturing ecosystem in the country. Uttarakhand becomes first state to implement Uniform Civil Code. The Uniform Civil Code has come into force in Uttarakhand, making it the first state to implement such a law. UCC aims to standardize personal civil laws, ensuring equal rights for all citizens. Implementation of UCC was a major commitment of the BJP in the run-up to the 2022 assembly polls in Uttarakhand, which saw the party storm to power for a second consecutive term. The state cabinet recently approved the rules and regulations for UCC's implementation and authorized the chief minister to decide a date for it. The UCC seeks to establish a uniform and equal set of rules on marriage, divorce, succession, and inheritance for all citizens in the state except the scheduled tribes, irrespective of religion. It makes registration of all marriages and live-in relationships mandatory. US suspends all foreign aid, orders review to align with America First agenda. The United States has suspended all foreign aid and ordered the review of American financial assistance to other countries to ensure they are efficient and consistent with its foreign policy under the America First agenda. The move comes after President Donald Trump signed an executive order in this regard. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce said President Trump stated clearly that the United States is no longer going to blindly dole out money with no return for the American people. Reviewing and realigning foreign assistance on behalf of hardworking taxpayers is not just the right thing to do, it is a moral imperative. Odisha Warriors crowned inaugural champions of Women's Hockey India League. In the Women's Hockey India League, Odisha Warriors lifted the inaugural edition title after they registered a hard-fought 2-1 victory over JSW Surma Hockey Club in the final at the Marang Gomke Jaipal Singh Munda AstroTurf Hockey Stadium in Ranchi yesterday. Rutuja Daraso Pisal gave the Warriors the lead in the second quarter, but Penny Squibb equalized for Surma soon after. However, Rutuja found the back of the net again as the game came to a close and sealed the victory for the Warriors. She was also named player of the match. ISRO set for landmark 100th launch tomorrow with GSLV F-15 carrying NVS-02 satellite. The Indian Space Research Organization ISRO is preparing for its landmark 100th launch from Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. At 6:23 hours tomorrow morning, the GSLV F-15 rocket will lift off from Satish Dhawan Space Center, carrying the NVS-02 navigation satellite into the geosynchronous transfer orbit. The NVS-02 satellite is part of the second-generation navigation with Indian Constellation Navig system, which is India's independent regional navigation satellite system designed to provide accurate position, velocity, and timing. PVT service to users in India as well as to regions extending about 1500 km beyond Indian landmass. UAE President Sheikh Mohammed declares 2025 as Year of Community. UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on Monday announced 2025 as the Year of Community, launching a national initiative aimed at fostering unity and inclusion across society. Under the slogan Hand in Hand, the campaign reflects the UAE's leadership's vision to build a cohesive and empowered community. The UAE is home to over 4 million Indians who form a vital part of the country's diverse population. President Sheikh Mohammed's announcement reinforces the leadership's commitment to creating a harmonious and inclusive society. Denmark to strengthen Arctic defense amid US interests in Greenland. Denmark has unveiled plans to bolster its military presence in the Arctic amid rising concerns over the US interest in acquiring Greenland, a Danish-owned territory. Danish Defense Minister Truls announced late yesterday that the government will allocate $2 billion to boost the defense of Greenland, Arctic Sea and Northern Atlantic. The plan will include deployment of 3 new Arctic naval vessels and 2 long-range drones, increased surveillance and crisis training for the residents. The defense minister said in a press conference that these preparations are just the initial phase. Further plans are expected to be finalized by summer. UN peacekeeping head thanks India, other troop contributing nations for Congo operation. UN peacekeeping head Jean-Pierre Lacroix has thanked India and other countries contributing troops to the UN operation in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, where 3 peacekeepers were killed last week. Rebels of the March 23 movement M23 took control of the city Goma in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. The fighting has intensified in various parts of the city, including areas near the border with Rwanda. Some sources reported that the rebels gained the upper hand after capturing Mount Goma. Nation remembers Lala Lajpat Rai on his birth anniversary. The nation is remembering Lala Lajpat Rai on his 160th birth anniversary today. The legendary freedom fighter and flag bearer of the Swadeshi movement was born on this day in 1865 at Dodike in the then Faridkot district of the Punjab province of British India. His father, Munshi Radha Krishna, was a government school teacher and his mother was Gulab Devi. He played a pivotal role in India's freedom struggle. Known as Punjab Kesari, Lala Lajpat Rai died of severe trauma injuries he sustained on his head during a baton charge by police in October 1928. The police did the lathi charge when Lalaji was leading a peaceful protest march against the All-British Salmon Commission in Lahore. 38th National Games to begin in Uttarakhand. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 38th National Games at Maharana Pratap Stadium in Dehradun, Uttarakhand today. Various guests, including Union Ministers, the Indian Olympic Association and national players will attend the opening ceremony. Indian Olympic Association President PT Usha arrived in Dehradun yesterday. She was welcomed by the state sports minister Rekha Arya at the airport. Our correspondent reports all preparations are in place for the inauguration. India-China agree on Kailash Mansarovar Yatra resumption, direct flights, river data sharing. India and China have agreed on a slew of measures during the meeting of the Foreign Secretary Vice Minister mechanism to stabilize and rebuild bilateral ties. The new understandings include the resumption of Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, the restoration of direct flights between the two countries, and the sharing of trans-border river data, among others. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, who was on a two-day visit to China, attended the meeting. The External Affairs Ministry said in a statement that the relevant mechanism will discuss the modalities for resuming the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra as per existing agreements. The two sides also agreed to hold an early meeting of the India-China expert-level mechanism to discuss the resumption of the provisions of hydrological data and other cooperation pertaining to trans-border rivers.